Thank you guys for tuning in. We're back with another Civic. This time, this is a 2023 Honda Civic EX-L hatchback, platinum white pearl with black interior. The EX-L, in my opinion, is one of the hardest trim level to get. And I'm just speaking from my market. I'm in New Mexico, and this is like the second EX-L we've had this year. In the hatchbacks, I know it's easier to get a Sport. I know it's easier to get a LX. Actually, no, not even LX. Sport and Sport Touring are the easiest trims to get, especially the Sport in the hatchback. Technically, the LX wasn't even supposed to be a trim for this year, but they brought back the LX. But the LX and the EXLs are just two hard trims to get. Maybe you live in New York or California, or you live somewhere else where there's a lot of these EXLs available, but for us, once in a blue moon. From 22 to 23, the design is very similar. Actually, it's identical, I would say. Nothing's really changed. I mean, this refresh came out for 22, so, you know, a year later, they don't really need to make huge changes. But on the EXL, just know that you have full LED headlights, so high beam, low beam, turn signals, and daytime running lights are full LED. No fog lights. You have to get a Sport Touring if you want fog lights. The EXL will have a 1.5 turbo 4-cylinder, just like the Sport Touring. If you get a Sport or if you get an LX, you get a 2-liter 4-cylinder non-turbo. Also, if you want a moonroof, it starts on the EXL and the Sport Touring. If you get a LX hatchback or a Sport hatchback, no moonroof. The wheel design is very similar to, actually I think it's the same wheel as the EX sedan, and these are 17s, so these are 215/50 17s on the EXL. On the body itself, on top of the windows, there's chrome. You can see on top of the EXL, and then the bottom of the window is black. I have a Sport right behind it. This one's a Boost Blue, and you can see it's all blacked out. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Honda's new design. So longer hood, slimmer A-pillars, windshield is kind of more slanted to give you a little more headroom. Honda Sensing has been redesigned, so they updated the camera. The camera is a little more wider. The sonar or the radar is really a little bit more accurate as well. Hatchbacks will get you a little side skirt over here, built in already. Come with blind spot monitoring. Now Honda is having a chip shortage, so I'm not sure. Well, there's not a lot of these EXLs being made anyway. On the sedan, the EX is supposed to come with a blind spot, but Honda's building some vehicles without blind spot that's supposed to have it. Let's jump right to the window sticker. So this is a 2023 1.5 hatch EXL. This one's platinum white pearl. So you see you pay a little bit more for platinum white pearl, $455 more. It's $28,150 plus your destination handling, which is $195, so $1,095. MSRP is $29,700 even if you go with a premium color. Coming around to the rear, unique shape because it's a hatch. You do have LED brake lights, but your turn signals and your reverse lights look like regular bulbs. Third brake light is in the hatch. There's no badging saying EXL. From the back, it's hard to tell if this is an LX or if it's an EXL. Sport will have Sport on the back. Sport Touring will have a badge in the back too. Also, Sport Touring have a different rear piece back here. And since this is a turbo, you do get the dual exhaust underneath. You have a capless filler, so you push in to open it. There's no lever in there to open up the door. Technically, the gas cap is built in on the cap itself. If you lock the Civic, it locks this door. With the EXL, you do get smart entry. It actually starts on the Sport. So there's a sensor in the back of the handle. If the key's nearby, you put your hand in there, it will unlock for you. This one's already unlocked. And you can tap these lines to lock it back. And as you open up, this is the black interior. EXL does give you full leather. If you go with the Sport, that's one below this, you get a combination seat, but it's only leather on the outside and then cloth on the inside. But EXL will give you full leather seating. Also, if you want power seating, it starts on the EXL. Driver's seat has an 8-way power adjustment. So front and back, for the back there, seat can move forward and back. Seat can go up and down, and then you can adjust this portion right there. So it's an 8-way power adjustment. On the passenger side, it's actually manual. So you pull the bar to move forward and back, and you can adjust your back, and that's pretty much it. Get inside interior, close that up. Always forget to get that. Well, always forget that it's gonna come on. You have auto up down for driver and passenger. You hold for the rear, power locks, power windows. You have the shortcut to your safety features there. Actually, let me zoom in there for you guys. You also have your traction control on and off there, and your dimmer switch for interior lighting. Today's gonna be like 70 degrees, so I don't know. What am I doing not having this car on, not have this AC on? I'm crazy. Just like the Sport and the LX, you have the same half digital, half analog cluster. If you go up to the Sport Touring, then you get the full digital 10-inch cluster. Auto lights, parking lights, and on, no fog lights. Like I said, only for the Sport Touring. The Sport give you paddle shifters in the back. You don't get any paddle shifters on the EX-L. Wipers on the right side. Leather wrap steering wheel with the shift knob, leather wrap. Since this left side portion is digital, you can control different settings here. So you have vehicle settings. I should just get out of that guy. Get in there for you guys. So you have settings, you have safety features, and actually when you push that little circle, it'll automatically go to your safety support screen. Auto life, we have the seat belts on, which is pretty cool. It'll give you a reminder. Oh, the seat belts in the back are on. I remember to unbuckle those. So look at that, come in handy. Driver attention, speed and time, range and fuel is what everyone usually uses. Warning, or you can have nothing. I'm gonna leave it on range and fuel. So 395 range right now on a full tank of gas. On the left side here, you have your wheel I was just using to control that screen up there, your volume source, so you can switch from AM, FM, Bluetooth, next and previous, and your voice command if you hold it to Siri. Right side is gonna have your cruise control features. So you have your adaptive cruise control to adjust the distance. Actually, let me turn it on. So you hit this little guy right there, and then you see the little picture of the car and the radar pop up right there. And then you can either hit set, and then it'll cruise at the speed that you're going, or you can hit your adaptive cruise control here. Oh, my focus is crazy. I just learned something new on my phone. That's funny. You hit this guy, and then you can adjust the intervals from the car in front of you. You have 4 different levels, and then you have the lane keep assist button over here. Just like the LX and the Sport, you get the 7-inch touchscreen display. Even though it's touchscreen, you do get a volume knob, you do get a tuning knob, and you also, oh, this phone is like, what the heck? Phone is, I don't know what my phone is doing. But you have phone shortcut there, radio, AM, FM, Bluetooth, and USB, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's not wireless. You have to plug in your phone for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you get the Sport Touring, it's wireless, and you get the bigger 9-inch display, so a bigger touchscreen if you go up to the Sport Touring. But this size should be fine. Put in reverse. You can see normal backup camera. You have a wide angle, normal, and then you have a top down. Now, even though you have blind spot on here, you don't have cross traffic. I believe they saved that for the Sport Touring, so keep that in mind. You have the new mesh grille design from Honda. Starting in the Civic, it's in our CRVs and our HRV. In the hatchback, if you want heated seats, it starts in the EX-L. So EX-L Sport Touring. So you pretty much, if you want heated seats, you have to get leather. There's no EX in the hatchback. Usually EX is cloth with heated seats. The EX is only for a sedan. There's no EX in the hatchback. So keep that in mind. You do have dual zone climate control. The Sport has a single zone. And you have auto, fan speed, passengers, temperature, or sync on and off. And then your basic climate control there. USB-A with a power outlet, no USB-C, and you can park, reverse, neutral, drive for the transmission. And you do have sport mode and low, so the Sport doesn't have a sport setting for the transmission, or it doesn't have a low setting for the transmission. I think on the Sport it's park, reverse, neutral, drive, and that's it. You do have an Econ Assist, and you do have an auto stop button. On the Sport, you do have a drive mode toggle too that would have been here. So it wouldn't have an Econ button. It would have a switch where you can go to Econ mode, Sport mode, or normal mode. But on the EX-L, you have a Sport mode and for the transmission and low, but you don't have driver modes. So keep that in mind. Electronic parking brake, and you also have brake hold. So when you're in drive, you can turn this feature on and take your foot off the brake, and it will hold your brake while you're in drive. So it's good for stop and go traffic, ATM. You had to drop off lane or something like that. Glove box, decent size. It slowly comes out. And then you have the seating here. Since the driver has plastic on there, I can show you guys a little bit better on the passenger seat. Nice and comfortable. Not too hard, not too soft. And then nothing really going on that side over there. Right above your touchscreen display, you do have a normal rear view rear view mirror, and it's not auto dimming, and there's no home link. You gotta get a sport touring if you want home link and auto dimming. You do have LED lighting, and since you have a moonroof, you have a moonroof control up here. If you want a moonroof, EX-L Sport Touring, it's the only way to go. And then on the Sport, you get a vanity mirror with no light, but you get a light on the EX-L and Sport Touring. and it's actually on both sides, which is, there you go. Do your makeup, all that good stuff at night. Don't have to worry about it. Let's get to the rear seat. How wide do the rear doors open? When we get back here, so a decent amount of space. You do lose a little headroom since you have a moonroof. On the Sport, being that I don't have no moonroof, you have a little bit more headroom. And you do have a pocket behind the passenger seat, none behind the driver, and no air vents back here, and no USB ports back here either. Take off the seat belts. You do get an armrest back here, and it's leather. It's nice and plush with cup holders, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. Not really much going on back here. Got some tweeters, got some speakers, but yeah. And I'll show you guys the front cockpit. You can see from back here. Very modern design. This is going to age really well. Like next 5 years, this is still going to look good. That's why Honda went with that tablet style screen, because over the years, this still will look good. If you have a screen that's built into the dash, it looks kind of dated fast, if that makes sense. And we're going to get in the trunk. You can either push that button, lift up from back here, or you can unlock it from the driver's alarm. Just been going off while I'm recording. It's funny. So yeah, so you have the little privacy, little shade here, and you can take that off. And you have this whole thing wide open. And you do have one built in into the hatch already. Compared to the 21, wider opening, more cargo space. Also, you do get a spare tire. Let's see if I can do this one hand. Should be able to. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I need 2 hands. I need 2 hands for that, but you get a spare tire. You can see with your tools as well. And then this is the all-season cargo tray you can add. And you can add dividers too if you want to customize or kind of have your stuff organized. You just pull the lever here. You can drop the seats. They are split, so you can drop one side and have one side up, which is pretty cool. Or from back here, you can drop it down. You can see it's pretty wide back there. No power trunk or anything like that. It's manual, but it's easy to open and easy to close. You don't even have to worry about that. I closed that thing right? Yeah, I did. All right, we made it to the trim walk of the Civic Hatchback. So like I said, the EXL that we're looking at is the 3rd trim up before the highest one. You have LX, you have the Sport, you have the EXL. So the EXL is pretty much gonna have everything the LX have, then it adds this. The same thing with the Sport. The Sport have everything the LX has, but it adds its own unique thing as well. So the EXL technically is not directly above well, technically it is above the Sport, but you're not getting everything the Sport has and then you move up. You're getting everything from the LX to the Sport, or everything from the LX to the EXL. So that's how Honda set everything up. And then the Sport Touring has everything the EXL has, plus add the Sport Touring stuff. First thing you're gonna see here is the 1.5 turbocharged 4-cylinder that starts on the EXL. And you have 180 horsepower versus the 58 horsepower on the Sport and LX. Remote engine start. Oh, that's not even on the no, it is on the Sport. See, this is why the EXL is an upgrade from LX, not from the Sport, because the Sport has some of these features too. You have a remote engine start that the Sport has. 17-inch alloy wheels. You have the all-season tires. You have the available blind spot. So that means Honda will make EXLs without blind spot. So make sure you keep that in mind. 180 watt audio system with 8 speakers. You get the driver's seat with 8-way power adjustment, the leather trim seats, leather wrap steering wheel, and shift knob. Sport also gets that. Rear seat center armrest, dual zone climate control, which is why you're getting EXL, and the moonroof, the one-touch power moonroof, why you're getting EXL. The heated front seats is why you're getting the EXL. You have heated body colored mirrors, intermediate windshield wipers, passenger side seat back pocket, illuminated vanity mirrors. You pretty much want the EXL because you want moonroof, you want heated seats, you want dual zone climate control, and I would say maybe the power driver seat and the power passenger seat. I mean, I think that's more of a plus. And the turbo engine, that's your main reason why you would get the EXL. But you guys saw we did the walk around. I think it's a good package. It's just here in my region, we just don't get these. In the sedan, there's no EXL. The sedan is EX, or you go straight to touring. And the hatchback, there's no EX. So you go either EXL or you go Sport Touring. If you want cloth seats, you have to get a Sport or the LX. You can't get a cloth seat with moonroof and heated seats and all that good stuff. So pretty interesting how Honda did that, but that's what they decided to do. For the hatchback, here are all the trim levels, and we're gonna jump on to the EX-L. You can see turbo engine, just like what I went over in the trim walk. But I want to show you guys the colors. So on the EX-L, you're able to get black, silver, lunar silver to be exact, meteorite gray metallic, rally red, platinum white pearl, and you're also able to get the smoky mauve pearl. Now, I did a video on the sport touring of this, and in EX-L, we had one so far. In the sport touring, we had 3 in this color, and the EX-L we have 1. Very hard color to get. So if your dealership have one coming in, you know, shout out to you, but I don't know. It's a really hard color to get. And if you get white, you have the option to get gray interior, or you have the option to get black interior. And actually, let me show you guys the gray interior. It's actually pretty nice. It's a lot lighter on the website, so I recommend, you know, see the gray interior in person. But if I get one, I'll definitely do a video on one. Because everything else is, oh yeah, meteorite gray can get gray interior too. And let me see, silver is one color, which is it black? Yeah. I'm assuming black is with black. Rally red, I believe, is with black as well. Yep. Smoky mauve, I know is black interior. Yeah, so if you want gray interior, it's gonna be white or meteorite, and that's it. And then you have packages on here. So you have the HBD package, your protection package, and the HBD package pretty much gives you the spoiler. And actually, I'm gonna make a separate video for that. Don't worry about that here. Here we're focused on the EX-L. Let's go back to the pricing. So if you do go with white, because white is $455 more, or smoky mauve is $455 more, you look around $29,700, like I showed you guys in the video. Now, I'm not including if your dealership has markup. I know every dealership don't have markup on their car, so you may can get them for MSRP. But if yours got markup, then you pay your markup, whatever, if that's something you're gonna do. But I will end everything here. I appreciate you guys for, you know, staying this long, checking out the video, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next walk around.